Mike Bohn here in Newark, New Jersey with the light heavyweight champ, Jamahal Hill. Jamal, it's been a few months since you won that belt, man. Just how's the champ life been?
It's been all right, man. It's been pretty cool. You know, it's got some perks to it, so I'm enjoying those and just getting locked back in and ready for the next one.
Yeah, and I think I asked you just right after, how you'd prepare yourself for all maybe, I don't know, for a lack of a better word, the leeches, the people who suddenly come out and want to be your best friend, the people who are suddenly saying they're your cousins or whatever, right? Have you seen a lot of that? Has it been hard to navigate who is coming at you for the right reasons, the wrong reasons?
I mean, that's what you got to do in life, period, no matter what you into. So it's just been part of the process, and just part of life, But everything been good for the most part.
Yeah. So what are you hearing for the future? Because I remember you told me right after, you're I want to wait for Jiri, which I know is the right fight, but you don't want to wait too long, right? You didn't want to wait past summer, so we're getting close. It's May right now. So what are you hearing?
I'm hearing maybe August. So hopefully we get that in and we get that contract in and get it signed soon. But yeah, bro. I'm not trying to wait past summer. That's all I know. What I know is I'm not trying to wait past summer, so whether it's Jiri or whoever steps forward, I'm ready to get it in. I'm ready to step back in there.
I saw you guys do that face-off, cage side, right, recently? How was that?
It was smooth. It was cool. He was there. They asked us if we can do that, and then just do the face-off and everything for anticipation, because I know that's going to be a great fight, and I know it's going to be a great fight for the fans and everybody. He thinks he's ready, and I already know what it is, so I'm excited to show that.
Yeah, well, how much has the confidence changed since you win that belt, right? You aim for it for so long, you know that you can do it, but once you actually do it, how does that change, how you feel about yourself?
It don't really change, because I already knew I could be this, and I already knew I could be here. So my confidence has already been sky high. It's always been the utmost. So yeah, just for me, it's just staying the course now. The main thing that's changed for me now is I look at the goals different. The goal was to work and become the champion. Now that I am the champion, the goal is to cement legacy. And I do that by just smashing opponents. Hunting challenges, and that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so obviously Jiri's the one that you want, but like you said, you're not going to wait forever. So if it's not him, who do you think makes sense?
Whoever steps forward, because right now nobody else makes sense for real. So some guys are going to have to make some leaps or whatever to put themselves out and separate themselves from the packs, and whoever that is, that's what I'll take on.
What about Alex Pereira, right? We all thought of this after what happened with Glover, right? That little clip of him looking at you and stuff. But Dana said that
that was a handshake. He never looked at me like that or nothing. Because I'm not the type of person for you to just kind of it would never happen like that. Nobody would ever just look at me like that and it'd just be smooth or some shit like that. So that wasn't that. That was a handshake.
Meaning, if he looked at you the wrong way, then you think of him differently?
It's just a simple fact. I know when somebody trying to look at me in that type of way. So, and I address things up front. So, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah. Dana said for Pereira, he wants him to win one fight in this division before coming up. Do you think that's justified? Or if, something happened with Jiri and he couldn't fight and they wanted to do him, would you be open to that? Or do you think he needs to earn it?
I mean, that's up to them. If I'm looking at it as far as fair from everybody else in the division, I would say he would have to win a fight in order to get a title shot. But his name brings some value, so there's that factor. I'm not dumb to the fact that can play a factor in somebody getting a fight. But yeah, I don't care, bro. I really don't care if he thinks I just got to do this. When you get to this fight, it's not gonna be what you think it is. You know what I mean? It's an ass whooping waiting for you here. So whenever you decide to get to that, it is what it is. Personally, I think he's got to win one. I don't know who he beats. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna have to beat somebody in the top 5. I know a lot of those guys in the top 5 they're tough. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to grapple with them as well. And I know that's not a strong suit of his, but they can stand and they can grapple as well. So we'll see. I'm excited. I think it's an exciting time for the division. I think it's great for the division. And yeah, bro. I've heard a lot of people say, I can't remember 100%, not off the top of my head if you said it, but I heard a lot of people say some shit like the division is this is the weak division, it's weakest. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The logic behind from basically the logic that I'm hearing is it's a weak division because anybody can beat anybody, rather than one dude beating the shit out of the entire division. Right. That makes the division weaker. Like, if we really think about that, that's the dumbest shit you've ever heard.
It should be considered more competitive, right? Because no one can keep the belt for that long. But I guess it's like maybe everyone looks at, because before Jon Jones came around, right? Like, it was, everyone was passing it one title defense, one title defense. It was like, you know, Rashad and then Rampage and Forrest and all that stuff. And then Jones held it forever. And then it seems like a little bit after, it's hot potato a little bit more again.
Yeah, you know, but that just goes to speaks to that level of greatness. That's not a knock on the division. That's just the level of that person that comes in at that time. You know what I mean? So for people to say, it's like really like bro, like when people say it, I'm like, bro, you really are stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I just have disregard for any intelligence you might have, because you're saying that a division is worse because it's more competitive as opposed to one dude just being leaps and bounds and better than everybody else. That's insane to me. You know?
Maybe some people look at it like, because you're like the freshest face still, even though like there hasn't been too many new guys coming in like post you, right, that are like making big time waves. So maybe they could just look at it and be like, hey, some of these guys have been around for a long time. We've maybe seen their best, and maybe that's how they look at it. Not saying that's how I think of it. Maybe that's like how the critics look at it.
Yeah, but that's crazy though, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because like, just think about that. Think about how deep the talent has to be in that division for a dude to come out of nowhere and become the champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just goes to tell you that there's real deal talent here. Maybe you overlook it. Maybe you need to open your eyes up. Especially the dudes that have never been in the gym, never trained, never taken a punch to the face or overcome some adversity like that or none of that. Like, bro, like, when you start talking and you really start disrespecting fighters, you sound like a bitch. You know what I mean? And I don't respect that shit. Nobody else respects it, and you will never get past anywhere but just sitting in your fucking basement talking on your computer. You know what I'm saying? That shit weak, bro. Well, like, come on, bro. Let's learn how to be a man. Be a man about that shit, bro.
I've seen Ankalaev and Blachowicz going back and forth on the past few days saying they want a rematch. Do you think they should do that? Do you think that makes sense?
I didn't even see that. I didn't know about that. But I think that would be something that would be justified. You know, they ended in a draw. A lot of people feel like it wasn't a draw. Some people feel it went Blachowicz. Some people feel it went Magomed. Some people feel the draw was justified. It is what it is. You know, so that definitely could be something. I mean, who else is there for him right now? So, yeah, if you want to get after it, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job, or you want to get paid or not.
And I think about the fight with Jiri Prochazka. Reminds me of, like, you know, everyone thinks when they go in there with him, it's going to be like a war, because that's what we've kind of seen with him so far. It reminds me of what Dustin Poirier told me once before he fought Justin Gaethje. He's like, I know I'm going to beat this guy, but I know I might have to leave a piece of myself in that octagon when I fight him to beat him. Do you feel like it would be a similar thing with you and Jiri, or do you feel like you go in there and you can beat him very cleanly without, you know, going through that war?
Yeah, I don't feel like it has to be a war. I feel like my skill level vastly surpass that of his own. You know, I feel like he's a very physical dude. You know, and I think he's just a very physical dude. He's strong. He got some natural physical attributes, but the skill and a certain understanding on a level that I understand this shit, he's not there. You know, I was just watching his fights the other day. He's not that guy like you think. Yo, I can't wait to get him in there. I truly can't wait to get him in there so they can really see what it's like. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny, bro. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna beat the dog shit out that man.
Just last thing I wanted to ask you about, we saw Jon Jones come back, obviously won that heavyweight title, but he's already talked about maybe leaving. He said, maybe I'll fight Stipe and then I'm going to retire. What do you think of that? I mean, I know you've mentioned maybe I'll go to heavyweight to get him one day, but he might not be there that long.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, it's kind of disheartening, you know, because that's a challenge that I want. But, you know, if that's what he wants for his life and his legacy and things like that, and that's where he feels like he wants to put the end to it, that's all the more respect to him. I mean, I'm not going to ask for nothing more. He's given a lot. You know, he's given us some great fights, some great performances. I mean, some great lessons and things like that. You know what I mean, on both sides of the coin, and to learn from. And just, you know, I remember seeing Jon Jones in there elbow red from being in the arm bar from who was Vitor, you know what I mean, and then in the same fight broke his toe, you know what I mean, and come on, bro, like respect what people put on the line and lay out there for you, you know what I mean, and if you decide like, all right, I've given all I can, hats off to you, and right off to enjoy whatever you do after that.
Fair play. So we have 3 pay-per-views, it seems like. July, the International Fight Week one, end of July, probably Salt Lake City, and August, Boston. Good chance you end up on that Salt Lake City or Boston one, you think?
Could be. Very well could be. You know what I mean? I was in Salt Lake. I prefer not to fight at elevation. You know what I mean?
That's what I keep hearing from everyone.
Yeah, but Boston, I like Boston. It's straight. I know it's a very passionate fans, a very passionate crowd. I'd be more than happy and more than honored to fight in front of that. And yeah, it's all up to the guys. The guys upstairs. So they make the call. They already know when they call me. They already know what it is. They know my answer every time. It's the same.
In basketball, who do you think wins the NBA championship this year?
Oh,
Toughest question of the day, apparently.
bro, that's tough, bro. I'm a LeBron fan, so I like the Lakers, but
Lakers Boston final for the 19th championship, going head to head, the two legacy teams. That'd be dope.
That would be dope. I probably have to say, what's the other series on the? I think actually if Jimmy Butler can stay healthy, I think Miami might make it back. So we might get a replay of the bubble, tournament, the Lakers and the Heat. But right now I have to say the favorite from the West would have to be the Nuggets right now.
Yeah.
They're the number one seed, and they're loaded. Their roster is loaded, and they're solid. They're a good team. But yeah.
Sure. Well, people aren't here to listen to talk basketball, but I love how that was the most difficult question to ask. So I appreciate the time.
All sports, man. I'm a fan of all sports. I'm a fan.
Me too, brother. Well, appreciate the time. It's always great to catch up and hope to see you in there this summer, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.